our 39th anniversary ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ, the Feast of the Passover. Talagang there is a lot of merriments at nag-enjoy po ang lahat. But earlier this morning, tayo, no, kayo po, lalong-lalo na andyan sa Kojc compound ay bigla na lang, no, na nasindak sa mga pinaggagawa ng PNP. As the 10th day ng kanilang siege sa Kojc compound ay palala ng palala ang kanilang mga ginagawang kaduda-duda, attorney.
Yes, I confirmed that, no, because this morning na ano na lang tayo, no, nagulat tayo na meron na namang move si General Nicolas Torre, no. Naglagay ng LRAD at saka nag-announce that he will break into the Emerald Gate. So I used a megaphone, no. I told him that there was no need to break into the property because as early as August 24, they were already inside the property. How can you break into the property when you are already there, no? So I told him, sir, you have access to Gate 18, so there is no need really for you to break into the Emerald Gate because you are controlling the entire property of KOJC. And you have access into Gate 18, no? By using Gate 18. Pero ayaw maniwala. Ang duda ko talaga nun, may ipupuslit ito ba? At dadakpin tayo, no? So I already instructed my associates, sila Attorney Adrian Pajaro, no? At yung ibang abogado, relax lang kayo. Kaya gagawin itong excuse na dakpin tayo, no? So relax lang. Tayo na ngayon ang exercise ng maximum tolerance. Di ba? Yan yung mga usual lines ng mga pulis. So, nung nangyari yun, sinira talaga niya ang gate at pumasok at nangharas yung mga tao niya at may isa tayong member na dinakip, no? Nakatayo lang, no? Na sampal ata at merong mga gasgas yung mukha. At dinakip yung aking associate na mabait na bata yan. Kaya nga kinuha ko yung associate sa aking law firm kasi mabait. Pero matalino yan, no? Si Attorney Adrian Pajaro muntik nang dinakip. Lumapit din si Attorney Reginald Santiago. Buti na lang hindi siya dinakip. Abogado yan. JMC product yan, no? Hindi natatakot ng pulis yan maski abusado, no? Sige lang, may time of reckoning yung mga pulis na yan. Tingnan natin, ha?
Talaga lang.
Anyway, less than 5 minutes, may pinuslit na mga supot, mga boxes,
Oo,
no?
malalaki,
Which really proves our point na ipupuslit ito. Ewan ko ano yan, mga equipments ba yan, mga gold bars ba yan, no? We are now engaged in a guessing game as to what are these equipments and what are these materials or things that are illegally sneaked into the property, no? And I do hope and pray that they would realize that anything that they do there, no, any evidences that they will be able to find would all be inadmissible, no? Inadmissible yan pursuant to our Bill of Rights, no? So, yan ang nangyari kaninang umaga. And then, ano pa? Yung ating, fire truck, no? Sinis. And where can you, where can you find a law where the property owner is now dictated as to where would you park your personal property like a vehicle, no? Yeah. Dito lang ata, ngayon lang ata, sa panahon ni General Nicolas Torre sa Region 11.
Attorney,
No?
may recent statement po yung spokesperson ng Philippine National Police na ang sabi ni spokesperson Jean Fajardo na kung ano man po yung ginagawa ng ating mga kapulisan dyan sa ating compound ay naaayon daw po sa batas kasi yung ini-invoke dito ng PNP daw, attorney, ay yung Section 11 ng Rule 113 ng Rules of Court na they have the authority to break in doon sa mga establishment and even doon sa mga enclosures na pinaniniwalaan nilang nandun yung subject.
Para ma-review siguro yan ni ni Colonel Fajardo, no? Nag-post na ako sa sa Facebook para remind naman siya, no? That a search to be valid there must be a search warrant, no? An arrest warrant cannot be used as a justification to conduct a search, especially if the property is owned by another person. That is very basic, no? And Rule 113, Section 11, no? Yung sigurong ginagamit niya, yung reasonable belief that the person is present in the building that the police is about to break into, no? Or to break in, no? Ang ibig sabihin niyan, reasonable belief of a person that he is there. Is there still reasonable belief? My golly, Colonel Pajardo knows that it has been 10 days already and you are still in the stage of reasonable belief?
Yeah, correct.
And the search for, what you call this, the search for heartbeats have always changed. From the main administrative building of JMC to the JMC basement to the JMC Cathedral, and even 52 kilometers away to Glory Mountain and Prayer Mountain. What kind of heartbeat is this, no? It can navigate, no, without us seeing it, no? Parang ano na ito? Glorification na nga kung if we will use the words of Pastor before, baka yan na yung sinasabi niya. And accordingly, if we will use his interpretation, we will be empowering the arrest warrant, no? More, or we will be according the arrest warrant more powers than a search warrant, which is not within the contemplation of the rules, no? And the only incident where a warrantless search is allowed is when it is already a search incidental to a lawful arrest, no? Kung arrest warrant lang ang dala mo, hindi ka pwede mag-search. Pwede ka lang mag-search if there is already an arrest. It is called search incidental to a lawful arrest. Now, has there been an arrest? There is no arrest after 10 days. So therefore, what will happen to the search? The search is illegal. Why? Because the search can never precede an arrest. Alam niya yan, no? Ewan ko kung alam, kailangan siguro natin siya i-remind. Nandyan po yan sa mga kaso po na binabasa po natin, People versus Nuevas, where the Supreme Court clearly said that in a search incidental to a lawful arrest, the law requires that there must first be a lawful arrest before a search can be made. The process cannot be reversed. So, hindi ka pwede na mag-search dyan kung ang armas mo lang ay arrest warrant.
Correct.
Dapat may arrest na bago ka makakandak ng search. At saka nga, yung search na allowed in a search incidental to a lawful arrest must be reasonable. It is only within the vicinity of the arrest. And what is the reason for that? The reason for that is self-preservation. In order to look for possible armaments that may have been brought by the accused, so that the same cannot be used as an instrument of crime as against the police officer who conducted the arrest. So yun po, so alam man yan siguro ni Colonel Pajardo. Siguro napipilitan lang siya maghanap ng mga creative defenses kasi trabaho niya yun. But I think she knows that what the police is doing right now are utterly illegal.
Attorney, maliban dito sa illegal search, parang malala na rin po kasi itong ginagawa ng kapulisan doon sa ating JMC basement. Parang lumalaki yung butas doon, hukay, doon sa doon yung activity nila.
Oo, meron din kasi tayong marami. Bulanon kasi ako, friendly ako, marami po ako mga kaibigan. Maski dyan sa mga pulis, dyan nga sa Operation Teknon, marami akong kakilala dyan. Meron pa akong mga natulungan noon sa mga kaso nila. Hindi ko na lang ipaalam kung sino. May mga nagbibigay sa atin ng mga information. Magtataka sila, bakit marami masyadong information si Atty. Torion? Marami akong mga kaibigan, maski sa mga pulis. Marami dyan sa mga pulis, ayaw na ayaw yan si General Torre, no? Kasi nga, medyo sumusobra na talaga, no? So, ang information na lumalabas sa akin, A1, no? Sige. Ito naman. I-challenge ko si PNP General Marbil. Bigyan ninyo kami ng access dyan sa JMC basement, no? Para malaman namin kung totoo ba yung mga pictures na na-post ko. Kasi kung totoo yan, hindi mo yan ma-justify just because you have an arrest warrant. Ano na bang ginagawa ninyo dyan? Treasure hunting? Alam na, sinabihan na kayo ng engineer dyan na walang tunnel dyan. Kayo ang gumagawa ng tunnel. Illegal po yung ginagawa ninyo. Sige nga, papuntahin nyo nga kami dyan bukas. Sama tayo ng mga media, sama tayo ng mga pulis. Kung hindi totoo yung nagawa kayo ng tunnel. Kaya para kung hindi totoo, ay nako, mag-clap kami talaga, no? Kasi kung totoo ito, no? Maski na siguro magkano na yung mga savings ninyo at saka kung meron mang yung mga rumor diyan, no? We will not really take that sitting down, no? Why? Because that is a violation of the rights of our client and we will be filing multi-billion damages against you because JMC is one of the best schools in Davao City. It is one of the most presentable, no? Yung ating building maganda. Tapos sisirain mo lang in the guise of implementation of an arrest warrant. Di po pwede yan. Lumilipad na ata ang batas, General Marbil. Kung po pwede, ihinto na niyo yan. Wag na yan ituloy pa kasi wala talagang tunnel dyan. Nagre-treasure hunting siguro kayo dyan. Akala nyo may gold bar si Pastor dyan. No? At kung may gold bars dyan, na-explain ko na hindi papunta sa inyo yan. No? Kung may hidden treasure po yan. No?
Attorney, kung mako-confirm yung illegal drilling activity nila, anong mga pwedeng ikaso dito sa mga superiors and commanders dyan ng mga kapulisan?
Naku, sigurado ako matatanggal yan, no? Grave misconduct, conduct unbecoming of a public officer, conduct prejudicial to the best interest of the service, malicious mischief, no? Etc. etc. Marami po kasi nag-conduct siya, violation of PD 1096. Wala naman siyang permit, no? Galing sa city building official, no? And that is required under the law because that constitutes an alteration. You know, the structural integrity of the building, I was told, no, would really be compromised as a result of what they are doing. And what if it will really collapse?
Correct.
Maski tagpiin yung lahat ng mga retirement pay ng mga police officers na involved yan. Yung mga kaibigan natin dyan. Sabihan nyo, sir, baka mukhang delikado na tayo dito. Sir, ano bang yung ginagawa ninyo, sir? Baka hindi rin kayo nasiran dyan. Kung merong mga dyan. Kawawa naman kayo. So, ang ibig kong sabihan nyo rin yung general nyo dyan. Masyado na itong illegal, itong order na pinapagawa sa inyo. No? Kunyari, nagkasakit na siguro kayo, nag-LBM na kayo para hindi kayo maging present dyan. At least may depensa kayo. Ngayon, wala kaming magagawa. Mapipilitan kaming ma-include po doon sa mga kasong ipa-file namin sa inyo. Alam nga naman, magsabi kayo, sorry ha, sorry. Sige, okay.
Ako, hindi madadaan sa
nawala
sorry
ang
yan.
accountability.
Yes, attorney, kumbaga the damage has been done po. Eto attorney, ibalik ko lang po regarding doon po sa issue lang po doon sa scanner. Dugtungan ko lang po yung sinabi din ni ka-partner Margo nga naglabas din ng statement. Ang spokesperson ng PNP si Colonel Jean Fajardo, and naglabas din po ng statement si PRO 11 Police Major Catherine De La Rey. Kasi despite po doon, kasi alam po natin attorney na nagkaroon po kayo ng pag-uusap ni Colonel Marantan na lahat ng gamit na ipinapasok nila dapat pong idaan sa scanner. So ito po yung sinabi ni De La Rey, attorney, no? May scanner o wala? Wala kaming ipapasok na mga gamit to plant and evidence. Kung may ipapasok man kami na mga gamit, it will be an aid doon sa ginagawa namin na pag-search kay Pastor Apollo. Hindi lahat ng mga tactical and operations or strategies namin ay pwedeng ihayag sa publiko or ihayag sa members ng KOJC. Kasi at risk din yung operation. Ayaw namin din na ma-jeopardize, but rest assured, sabi po niya, attorney, na we will always uphold, may pa-human rights, sabi niya, human rights. Kaya kahit na anong resistance nila, maximum police tolerance pa rin ang ginagawa namin. Yan po yung paulit-ulit po niyang sinasabi, attorney. Your take on this po? Ay, nawala po yung audio niyo, attorney.
That is intended for good sound bites, no? But what is happening on the ground, just like for example this morning, no, nung nakita ko talaga yung associate ko, parang younger brother ko na yan, si attorney Paharo, no? Ibang nangyayari. Pilit tayong ginagalit yung intelligence reports na nakarating sa akin na Torre. After ng Kojc anniversary, pagagalitin ka niyan. Mga abogado mo, pagagalitin yan, kay dakpin kayo lahat. Ang purpose niyan, ubusin kayo dyan pagdakip para unbridled na yung search na gagawin nila. So may nagsabi sa atin yan, no? Tama nga, no? Saan yung anong tawag ninyo? Saan yung what you call this? Respect for human rights doon? Wala ata, hindi namin na-feel, no? Lahat ng sinasabi ng PNP ngayon, no? Wala talaga, for good sound bites lang, no? For good sound bites, just for them to look good in the eyes of the public. But what is actually happening now is that the opposite is true. There is gross violation of human rights, no? Decency have flown to the air, and fairness have already been thrown to the wastebasket. And supposedly may agreement na nga kami ni Colonel Hansel Marantan to obviate any and all confusion and any and all possible points of conflict. And we agreed that the policemen, no, magdala lang ng ID at saka ilagay doon sa scanner, kay yung mga dala nila, kay ayaw din namin na makapasok yung mga tao na nagpapanggap na pulis. Reasonable ba yan? Reasonable yan. Kasi may mga third parties who might take advantage of the situation, and they might bring into the compound certain explosives or firearms, no, which would endanger the safety of the members as well as the police, no? So may instance nga na may canned grenade talaga na dinala, no, at nakita. At saka there were instances likewise that what appears to be explosives, no, were sneaked into the compound. So itong ating scanner, ang purpose niyan is self-preservation, and it is within the right of the the owner of the property to install that for its own self-preservation. Ayaw ni General Torre niyan, kaya hinaras tayo kaninang umaga, no? At sinira yung gate, pagpasok nila, no, hinaras yung mga members natin, and in less than 5 minutes, may pinuslit nga. So yung mga pinuslit talaga, yung kanilang pakay para wala ng scanner, wala na tayong ebidensya kung anong ipinasok nila.
Mhm. Attorney, si Kapartner Troy po ito, no? The search, no, this ridiculous search has been dragging for 10 days already, and it cannot be denied that up to this time ay talagang bokya pa rin talaga sila. And masasabi na niyo po ba, Attorney, that there is or it is a failure of intelligence for the part of the PNP?
Hindi lang siguro failure of intelligence, sir. There is utter lack of intelligence, no? There is utter lack of intelligence on the part of the leadership of the PNP. I mean, I am always courteous, no, and I'm always respectful. But I have to state the truth. I think the conduct being exhibited now by the leadership of the PNP defies logic, and there is only one conclusion that can be drawn here, is that they are no longer concerned with whatever cases that we can file against them. Maybe they think that they are already made, no? That is in their mind. But they have forgotten to take into consideration the fact that overwhelming evidences are present to make them administratively, criminally, and civilly liable. And the degree and extent of the damage that they have brought and wrought into the JMC compound, as well as the damages suffered by the KOJC members, are actually mind-boggling likewise. And if you will try to quantify the same, they might not have properly calculated the same. It is even incalculable, no? Incalculable already, such that if we will really pursue cases against this person, no, for damages later on and criminal cases, they would really the words that I have already released, no, this will haunt them, will really become true, no.
Correct.
Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah.
But attorney, what do you think would be like the worst case scenario if this ridiculous search for what they're saying is the heartbeat, if this search continues?
If this search continues, no, I hope that somebody would intervene, no? Somebody would intervene. Tapusin na natin ito, kalukuhan ito eh. Wala naman talaga kayong nakita diyan. Ang ano lang diyan kung ano yung graceful exit. Kaya nga nung KOJC anniversary, I tried to negotiate with General Nicolas Torre. Sir, meron na kayong graceful exit dito. Ang sound bites natin dito is you respect very much the religious rights of the KOJC members since you have decided to leave the premises. Pero ayaw niya eh. The decision daw is beyond him, no? It is beyond him. So kung hindi talaga ito, no, we will just pray for a legal miracle to happen or even just pure miracle. Baka naman gawa ng mirakulo ang Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the great Lord Almighty, no? And touch the heart and mind of General Marbil and maybe Secretary Abalos, no? The one who are really deciding here, no? So they might change their mind, no? Otherwise, our only recourse is legal. And we hope that the RTC 15, no, we already filed a very urgent motion, no, last Monday. Ano ba ngayon? Monday pa nga ngayon, kanina, no? And I hope that it will be acted right away by the honorable presiding judge po.
But attorney, how would from your point of view, how do you think would the KOJC would take it if it comes to a point na huhukayin na nila yung buong 30-hectare compound?
Grabe naman yan kung gagawain nila yun. Nasisiraan na siguro talaga ng bait kung gagawin nila yun, no? That shows that they really lack intelligence, no? It's not only failure of intelligence. In the first place, when they really believe, they have reasonable belief that Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy is there, they should have brought the proper warrant, which they failed. Granting ex argumenti gratia that they would be able to present the warrant later on, but they failed to do that, no? Even until now, that's again another goof, no, or mistake. Now, if they would do that, then that would really multiply the amount of damages that we will be claiming. But I think that would not go to that extent. Somebody else will surely intervene, no? Meron namang Panginoon, di naman siya natutulog, no? I'm sure tutulungan tayo at ilang araw na lang siguro. Baka merong mag-intervene po dyan. Either ang korte, either ang ibang mga tao. Sigurado ako dyan.
Attorney, yung Department of Justice parang gusto nila para naman dun sa TPO na iginran sa atin ng korte. Pero parang ito pong Department of Justice ay planong kasuhan yung West nagbigay sa atin ng TPO.
Oo nga eh. I was surprised by that by that move, but I already posted on Facebook my reply, but for our watchers and listeners, no, according the basis of Secretary Remulla in giving that statement is allegedly that there was already an order from the Supreme Court for the transfer of venue of all cases affecting Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy. He must have forgotten about the fact that the petition for issuance of writ of amparo did not concern about Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy. It was filed by third persons, by KOJC members and GMC personnel, as well as KOJC followers and members, no, who are affected by the unjust as well as illegal implementation of a warrant of arrest as early as June 10 of 2024. Now, even if there is a warrant of arrest, that does not mean that third person who are affected by the implementation, illegal and unjust implementation of the warrant of arrest cannot file a proper petition for relief before the regional trial court when their rights to lives, liberties, and properties are violated. So, yun po nga nakasaad yan doon sa supplemental TPO na inisyu po ni Judge Mario Duaves. The warrant of arrest can coexist with a TPO, and the warrant of arrest can actually be served even if there is a TPO, provided that it is the manner by which it is implemented is necessary and reasonable. It is really necessary, the steps that you are undertaking. And any moves beyond the ordinary in the implementation of the warrant of arrest must require judicial imprimatur. So, is the use of reasonable force, or is the use of excessive force reasonable? We say no. There are too many policemen who are here looking for 5 or 6 persons, Too many, and besides, KOJC members are unarmed. They are very religious persons, Now, would a warrant of arrest likewise be used as a license to conduct a wanton as well as random and omnibus search to all the properties of KOJC and JMC? No. Why? Because a search, as I have already been explaining, can only be done on properties if there is a search warrant. Absent a search warrant, you could not conduct a search if you are only armed by an arrest warrant. An arrest warrant can only be used as a justification for a search if it is a search incidental to a lawful arrest. Now, in this case, has there been arrest that has been conducted? There is none. So therefore, the police cannot conduct an intrusive search. So therefore, if they conduct an intrusive search, such as in this case, they have even bore a big hole in the JMC basement, which is not even owned by the accused. It is registered in the name of a third, of an entity separate and distinct from the accused. What would be the remedy of the victims? Since they are not part and covered by the warrant of arrest, they can file an independent action for an issuance of a writ of amparo, and ancillary thereto is the prayer for the issuance of a temporary protection order. And that is governed by our laws. And the TPO checks the excesses and the overreach, therefore, that are being done by the policemen in the performance of the warrant of arrest. It does not mean that just because you have a warrant of arrest, you would trample down upon the constitutional rights of other persons. Hindi po ganyan ang contemplation. Kung mag-exceed ka na, may overreach ka na, gagawin mo na siyang lisensya para magkanda ka ng random search sa iba't ibang mga properties na hindi naman akusado. Kung gagawin mo itong, lisensya para i-bar mo na yung mga tao na makapasok sa kanilang cathedral, hindi na sila maka-exercise ng kanyang religious rights, pwede ka mag-writ of amparo. Kasi itong writ of amparo ang mag-cut off ng mga excesses na mga ginagawa ng pulis. And besides, if you will read the rules on the writ of amparo, any act or omission that are being done in violation of the constitutional rights of persons, can be filed in the place where the act or omission is committed. Dito sa Davao nangyari yung yung mga violations So therefore, RTC Davao City has jurisdiction.
Nako.
So sa tingin ko, wala pong basis ata yung parang undue exercise lang, parang stretching of state muscles, to scare off judges who were there to issue rulings against the mighty and powerful.
May somehow chilling effect nga ba talaga yan, attorney? Itong pangyayari.
Of course, because it sends a message to the judge, don't mess with us. If you will issue orders that are against our interest, we will file cases against you. That is not a good example of with due respect, I mean, I have met Secretary Rimulya and not sa tingin ko lang, parang siguro, nasipyat lang siguro siya dito, no? Kasi hindi yun magandang batayan. Parang tinatakot mo na yung mga huwis natin na mag-decide pursuant to the law and due process.